We woke up right at 7. I was out of my truck.
Hard was cheap. I knew it was bad, and I did 15 minutes. I did like 8 meetups. Started after the first and done. I'm like, maybe one of those days.
What do you remember about a bond? What do you have to do? You're doing what? Borrowing money. Right? A bond is a loan. Remember that? Now, that kind of bond is borrowing money. I understand that. I understand how people who don't have a job can come up with 10 grand to pay the $100,000 bond. I'd be in jail if I ever got arrested because I can't pay anything. But look, the kind of bonds we talked about earlier was you loan money, you buy a bond, either a municipal bond. What's a municipal bond? That's the government. School or city bond. And then there was commercial, which is like you buy it from a company. Why would you buy a bond?
Make money back.
To make money. It's an investment. What's great about a municipal bond?
Guaranteed.
It's a guaranteed thing because they ain't going out of business. So there's very low risk involved. So you're going to make money off of it, or you're going to make much money off of it.
No.
Because it's low interest, low risk, it's going to be low interest. You're not getting a whole lot back, but you're going to get more, you're going to get something back. Bless you. What's rough about a commercial bond?
No guarantee.
There's no guarantee you're going to get your money back. You might lose everything. So it's higher risk. What does that mean for your interest? It's going to be higher interest. You're going to make more money off of it, but trade-off is you might lose it. So a bond is a loan. It's an investment that you're making, and you would be receiving the interest. Now those people that bought all that GameStop stuff is buying silver. I don't know if that's good or bad or what that's going to turn out to be. All right. Block grant. What do you remember about that? We talked about that before. Maybe it wasn't y'all. Maybe it was the college deal. What's a grant? You don't have to pay it back. It's free money. So a grant is free money.
Free.
If your name is Rob, what's that?
How do I get one of them?
Well, you got to apply for it. You got to make sure you're not rich. The Riles are rich. Well, I didn't think I was when I was my 5th year of teaching. I didn't think I was rich. But when little Christy married me, she no longer qualified for a grant. Her family had been farmers, so she got grants to go to school. She marries me, we lose that. So I guess I've always been rich. I'm glad they told me, because I didn't know. I needed someone to tell me I was rich. The first Ryle to ever get a grant was Colt last year. Wyoming gave him a grant. So I didn't think it's possible for a Ryle to get a grant, but he did. But block grants is money from the federal government. And they will give a block grant to, say, Texas. They give this money to Texas, or Oklahoma, or Connecticut, or California. And they'll say this chunk of money, let's say it's $10 million. And you can use that for education. Block grant is a chunk of money from the federal government, and they say, you can use this money for this area. And then the state can choose how to spend it. But when it's gone, it's gone. Little Christy's getting got her teacher's certificate after she finished college. And she applied for a grant to get her teacher's certificate. And it was part of a block grant. And she applied for it, she qualified for it, and they said, oh, we're out of money this year, you gotta wait till next year. So she got it the next year. Bill Colt is doing his right now. I don't know how he's doing it. I don't know where the money's coming from, I don't know how much it's costing. But I'm always informed and stuff like that. So he's finishing his school, but he's doing his teacher certificate stuff before that. But that's a block grant. It's a chunk of money from the federal government for a specific thing. Alright, zoning. Let's see. Here's 51. Here is Walmart. Let's see. Exxon, radio. Baptist Church. Church of Christ. So 51 going into Decatur. Right, you got 287 coming this way. Every once in a while you'll see somebody selling a piece of land out there on 51. It'd be a big, like it doesn't have to be here. Could be a big sign selling land. Have you ever seen commercial on a real estate sign? Where it says commercial or residential. Cities are zoned. There is residential property. There's commercial property. I don't know if they name it this. There's also industrial.
Does that like tell you where you can and can't live and where you can and can't do
Yes.
business?
They organize the city. If you could put a house next to Walmart, would that be a good place to live? Would you ever back out of the driveway? No. Would your kids ever survive learning how to ride a bike? No. So they divide the city up. They say, okay, this part of the city, this is residential. Put a house here. This is commercial. What would commercial be? Businesses. Okay? And then industrial. In Decatur, what's industrial? Cocoa, graphite, is that still around?
Yeah.
Over there on the other side of town, there's like factories and industrial stuff. They do that to organize the city so there's not just chaos. So there's traffic flow and safety and all that stuff. Sometimes, let's say your house, could there be property that could be both? It's right on the border. You could have commercial, residential. There's always going to be something there. If you buy a piece of property, make sure you know what it is. Sometimes you can ask for a waiver. You can ask for the city to rezone it, your property. If it's, if it's a middle, you couldn't put a McDonald's right in the middle of the residential neighborhood. It'd have to be on the outskirts or something. But they do that to organize stuff and for safety and for traffic. The Riles survived learning how to ride a bike because they grew up there where the schoolhouse road curves. That's a tough place to learn how to ride a bike. Yeah, first thing I had to teach them. We're on the driveway, and you could look through. Let's see. The North house. There's the Norris's house. That's a bad place. Whatever. It's not the Waivers. There's the driveway. I taught them to look through here. See a car coming. You gotta wait till that car goes by. If you don't see a car coming, count 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004. If you don't see a car here, that means it's safe. You can cut out down the driveway and ride your bike. We had to go learn. You had to go over there by the ag shop because you couldn't learn to ride a bike here. After you rode a bike, you could go. You know, Titan. Every place we live is like traffic central in Paradise. Every place we live, there's traffic all the time. So does this make sense? Zoning makes sense. So when you see a real estate sign and it says residential or it says commercial, or sometimes it might say multi-use or dual use, that means it could be either one. Infrastructure, that's a big word, that's a fancy word. When there's tornadoes, when there's hurricanes, sometimes news will report damage to the infrastructure. To have, quote, civilized life, modern life, what do you gotta have? We talked about it yesterday. What's something you need for civilized modern life? What's that?
Electricity.
Electricity's one. Y'all agree? Hard to be modern without electricity.
You gotta have money to have electricity.
Yeah.
Water.
Water systems. Roads, highways. All right, communications. So infrastructure is like water towers and water systems and sewers and roads and electrical grids and power plants. That's all infrastructure. It's all the basics of modern life. If there's damage to any of these things, is modern life difficult? So if a tornado comes through and knocks down the water tower, is that going to jack up people's life in that town for a while? Yeah. Electricity goes out. We don't have hot water because we're fancy. We got one of them tankless water heaters. Anybody have one of them?
Yeah.
It's great. Tankless water heater. You don't have a tank. All right. Normal life with a water heater. When do you know to stop taking a shower? When the water gets cold. You're like, oh yeah, I gotta stop. Tankless water heater, it heats up the water as you use it. It doesn't heat it up before you use it. It heats it up as you use it. Which is, it's good, but you don't know when to stop. Oh my gosh, because it just stays hot. And it is, it's cheaper because you're not heating up water all the time. You're only heating up water when you use it. Now it uses it uses more gas per use than the water heater, but it doesn't run all the time. But when the electricity's out, it can't kick on. So you got cold water. Bless you. The first winter we had at our house, it got down to like single digits. And there's a little, where the water goes through, it's kind of small, it froze up. And so I was out there with a hairdryer trying to heat it up where we could run it. And nobody put so I put insulation in it, put it around the pipes, put some insulation in it to keep it okay. So anyway, that's infrastructure. Revitalization. If you revitalize something, what are you doing? Restoring it, fixing it up. Downtown Decatur, is it different than it was when you was a little kid? What have people done there? They've bought old buildings, kind of fixed them up, turned them into something else. Is that good for Decatur? What's happening downtown Decatur? People go there. There's more people who go there now than they did 20 years ago. What are they going there for?
Shopping.
To eat, for shopping, all kinds of little stores and stuff. Does that bring money into the city? Okay. Does that provide jobs? Yeah. Do people driving around some big town and they're looking somewhere to move and they drive through downtown Decatur and go, oh, this is kind of cute, and that it might draw people to the town? Does that sound like what? Mom? Well, yeah, that's who. Oh, if you have some old, dilapidated building falling apart, does that help the town? You got kids playing in there, they might get hurt. What else kind of goes on in old, rundown parts of the city? Drug deals, crime. Okay? There are some government programs that will give you low interest loans. You can apply for some of these grants or some of these loans to take an old piece of crap building and turn it into something useful.
Taj Mahal.
Okay?
Is that what was it, dude? Out there, like, not just a hospital, like, it's like they're building up the street and they built up all the
Yeah.
buildings, they made it brand new.
7th Street.
I guess they're trying to.
If you go in Fort Worth, the old Montgomery Ward's building, it used to be all run down, and now it's all brand new stuff. and people go there to shop and people, it brings money in. If the government is giving low interest loans, is there some positives coming out of that? Okay, there's some positives that come out of that. Some people are against this because you're using taxpayer money to make a profit. Some people are making money off this deal. I don't mind it. I kind of like that as a taxpayer. I don't mind my tax money going to something like this because at least it's doing something to help. And it's doing something. Plus we ain't having these old piece of crap. Now, does it bring, you don't want people coming into your town. Not too many people coming anyway, then that's one thing, and a lot of people don't like change. I'm getting the age I don't like change. I like it the way it was. But there's some controversy here. There's good and bad, pros and cons for doing that. I used to live in an upstairs, the 1800s buildings in the downtown. I lived in an upstairs apartment. They'd taken this old building and turned the upstairs into an apartment. There wasn't any it had an air conditioner, there wasn't any insulation. And it was just basically a brick oven because it had sun all day. And the first month I was there, I ran the air conditioner, and I got the bill. And I never turned the air conditioner on again. So I'm not wasting money on that. So I probably told you this. I had this industrial fan that was like this big, and it sat on the ground kind of at an angle. It's about that thick. And you turn it on, it's like a World War I biplane. and you try to talk. What? And just papers flying everywhere. Anyways. All right, last three here. Under the Constitution de Cahuta y Tejas, what were some rights that were denied? So when the people first came, when Moses and Stephen F. Austin were first bringing the people from Tennessee, that's not song, it's hard to say that. They agreed to some things, because it came from America, and Mexico told them, here's two things you ain't getting. You ain't getting public schools. No public schools, and no freedom of religion. And they said, okay. They said, okay.
Wait, so who said no to that?
Mexico told the first Texas settlers, that's part of the agreement. We're not giving you, there's no public education, there's no freedom of religion. Other than that, you can come in. I don't know how much money they brought. Had to be something. What does this year mean? 1836. Important to every single one of y'all in here. Texas became a country. That you need to know that. That's important. Texas became a republic. Became a country. Every family received what? Every family living in Texas received 4,000 acres. Texas looked like this back then.
Gotta get great. Holy crap. Can you imagine living in Texas back then? 4,000.
You go to something.
Imagine sir.
That's Texas. I got a map at home on the wall. Anybody been in the house before? Who's been in the house? Seen the map on the wall? You know what Colt? The only thing Colt wants is that map. So
that means I get absolutely nothing.
no, you get anything else you want.
No, see, those are the only two things that actually matter.
Secret though, secret. I'm putting it out in the video so that we're getting Colt for. I guess you're supposed to. I didn't know you got stuff for graduation, so you do what you're supposed to, and somebody gives you a present. I'm buying Colt a map and framing it for graduation. that and the Panorama Wyoming Stadium when they played Oregon. I'm getting that for him. So don't tell him. Shh.
He probably watches your videos.
I guarantee he's not watching his dad teach school. You know, he's not wasting time. Think of, are you doing that? No, you're not doing this. So anyway, that's what Rio Grande went up in Wyoming. So actually, look at this. Where's Colt going to school? In Texas. He's going to school in Old Texas, right there. That's where he is. About the M. That's where he is right now.
How come we lost all that?
I think we gave it up. But imagine the playoffs. You're playing them. Oh my gosh. But that's all the cool part of New Mexico and Colorado. That's all the cool part of Colorado. That really is kind of too big. That's huge. It's massive. Well, you got the crappy part of Colorado.
It is a 14-hour drive for us.
Yeah. So double it.
Yeah, Texas is the only state you can drive all day.
Yeah. All right. So you got 4,000 acres. Did that make everybody rich?
No.
No.
Not yet.
Did later on people make a lot of money off that land? Yes. Later people got rich off that. They weren't rich. Why'd they need 4,000 acres?
So they can
Water.
Homesteads.
There's no water, so they had to have that much use of water. So 1836, Texas became a country. 1845, what happened?
Texas succeeded in the U.S.
Became a state in the U.S. So why would they need a new constitution in 1845?
because they're not their own.
They're not a country anymore. Things have changed. So now we need a new constitution because we're a state. (1860s) what happened? 1860s. Civil War.
Yeah.
So did Texas need another new constitution? Did things change? Now you're not an American state, you're now a part of the Confederacy. So new constitution. What about 1870s? Went back to the U.S. So you also needed a new constitution. So Texas had a few constitutions. And our constitution right now is kind of worthless. The constitution is that thick. The amendments are that thick. There's like 800 amendments. Every year, Congress passes new amendments to the Constitution. So, we didn't do as good as the founding fathers did.
When do you think we'll get rid of the dumb law?
I don't know. Well, I don't know they're there. You have to read them.
Yeah, what is it? You can't have bolt cutters in your.
That's not dumb.
No, that's not dumb, but like that.
Yeah, why are you not allowed
So you can't
cut fences and steal horses? They still have horse stealing going on.
Yeah, somebody stole one of our calves one time.
When I was on grand jury, we had like 3 or 4 different cases of horse thievery.
We had somebody stole one of
Yeah,
our
where you think I got on horse?
Yeah.
Yeah, we watched that times in our cows.
I know in Tennessee, it's illegal to hunt whales from your car.
San Antonio. I found a cow and
It's illegal in Tennessee to hunt whales from your car.
yeah.
I don't know, it's there. I don't know.
walking whales.
I don't know.
Yeah, we had a baby calf one 2 years ago. And I guess if she laid down by the fence,
Somebody stole it?
somebody drove by and pulled her legs up so we can.
Can I
make fun of
can
her.
I vent a little bit here?
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you 2 minutes of venting here, and then y'all have a chat. I don't ask for a whole lot. Do I ask for a lot, Pace? Am I pretty simple? Yeah. Okay, I don't really ask for a lot. I like a lot of stuff, but I don't ask for a lot. We don't have time, and we're busy. And we're raising Colt's dog right now. We have to mess with the dog. In the morning, in the evenings. I love dogs, but right now in my life, I don't want to mess with one. You know what I'm saying? I don't have time to mess with one right now. This young lady, that right there, okay? Even me, Okay, even me, that she talked to me. I can't believe that. Here's the trade-off. I understand as of pretty soon, she has decided behind my back, without even discussing it with me. She knows how I feel. We're getting a puppy. On top of taking care of this underdog, we're getting a puppy. Now, if it was a blue heeler or another dog that a guy would have, okay, at least we got that going for us. This is not a blue heeler. This is not. I'm getting a poodle. And dogs do not belong in the house. When God created dogs, He said you will be outside, crapping outside, eating outside, doing what you do outside, not inside. This is going to be an inside poodle. With the German Shepherd 6-month-old puppy that's an idiot, running around, tearing things up. With this little, I'm already predicting chaos and trouble. Yes, sir.
You forgot the poodle is free.
That doesn't matter. No, it's not free.
Hold on, no, and it's messed up.
But that's fine. Okay.
It's like both of his legs when it was born, the back ones are like all tied together, so it has to be a physical fit. So it really only has 2 good legs.
Okay, fine, great. You're not selling me.
What's so funny?
We still have to pay for food. I'm sure we'll have vet bills. I'm sure we'll have tore up crap in the house. Plus, it's a poodle. But because 25 years ago she said yes, I can't say anything. I have to yes, whatever you want. I didn't say no once. I said no to the pig in the house. We're not getting a pig. It's the first thing I ever said no to her. I'm not going to have some 50-pound pig sit in my lap. No, the dog will love me and will not leave me alone.
Can we get a haircut?
No, we're not getting any stupid haircuts.
God might want to give you more money.
Yeah, that's not free. That's not free.
I guess you can do it if you
Put a
have
flat
clippers.
top.
Yeah. Make him like kid play this song.
Give him this fatigue.
I do not need a flat top. Oh, sure, Christy. Yes, ma'am. Oh, great, wonderful.